This is the worst investigation I've ever seen.
All right, so we got YNW Melly's case going on right now, and I need y'all to remember, this case has been going on for 4 years while Melly has been in jail, okay? So today during the case, they actually showed a video of YNW Melly jumping in the car where his friends were eventually murdered in, okay? Now, shout out to academics for the footage, but I'm also going to break down what else happened in court. But first, let's play the footage, all right?
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
All right, so that was Melly, who just got in the car with that black jacket on with the design on the back. Literally, like, is getting in the back seat right now. All right, now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That doesn't look too good on top of Melly coming out with a song called Murder on My Mind. But let's go to Lawyers for Workers and see what he had to say about what happened inside of the trial.
Trial is underway in the state of Florida versus Jamel Demons, professionally known as YNW Melly. He stands accused of killing his friends Anthony Williams and Chris Thomas. We had opening statements this morning. A couple witnesses went. This trial is expected to last several weeks. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. This trial is being live cast on the Law and Crime Network. You will be able to watch and follow along for most, if not all, of the trial. During the opening statements, we finally got a glimpse 4 years after the arrest was made what the prosecutor's case is going to be all about. Prosecutors told the jury that there was a drive-by. The prosecutor put her hands in the air using the air quotes, suggesting to the jury that this was a made-up story. She went on to explain that it was YNW Melly who unleashed the shots that killed his friends, and it was YNW Melly who then went and staged a drive-by. The key evidence that the prosecutors intend to give is that, well, they first got Cortland Henry showing at the hospital, telling them a story that suggested a drive-by had happened somewhere on Miramar Parkway. They went out to Miramar Parkway. They did a search for hours. Tons of officers going up and down. They did not find any shell casings, suggesting to them that Cortland Henry's story did not add up. They continued to say that they have other evidence about ballistics, evidence about cell phones, evidence from the medical examiner, all of which suggests the following, according to the prosecutor, that the fatal shots came from inside the car, that it was Melly shooting from the back, hitting his friend in the back of the head, and that the bullet went out the right side and out the car. We will see how the expert ballistics and the medical examiners are able to show trajectories of bullets and whether in fact there is a bullet trajectory being shown from being shot inside the car through the victim's head and then going outside of the vehicle. The evidence that the prosecutors intend to present: one, a text message from YNW Melly, which he says, "I did that shit." I don't know what the context of that message is. The prosecutors say that with the context that they're going to be able to present, they're going to be able to show you that what he's talking about is murdering his two friends. Two, a shell casing found inside the vehicle. Prosecutors allege that if there was a drive-by shooting where people are shooting at you, how did a casing get into the car, suggesting that the shots came from inside the vehicle. We will see what the defense's explanation is for how that casing got there. The defense attorney took the stand and had one key thing that he wanted to focus on above all else, and that was motive. He told to the jury that what you have here is a case where a 19-year-old man For the defense, their opening statement was all about motive. They stressed the fact that this is a 19-year-old. This is a 4-year-long investigation. While the law does not require the prosecution to show a motive, doesn't a 19-year-old need a motive to wake up one day and shoot in cold blood 2 of his friends? The defense went on to focus on all the ways that this investigation was botched. I don't know if this is true, we will see, but during the opening statement, the defense attorney claimed that it was the Miramar Police Department that initially did the investigation, and that after their investigation had gone really far, many months into it, it was the Broward sheriff who came in, took over, and redid the investigation. The Broward sheriff decided that this investigation does not look good and I need to start from scratch. And the Broward sheriff said, I don't know if this is true, the defense attorney said it during the opening, the Broward sheriff said, referring to the Miramar investigation, this is the worst investigation I've ever seen, or something to that effect, that this is just, they did a horrible job, I gotta redo this thing. We will see if that comes out at trial. That's the type of thing that people really sink their teeth into. And then the defense went into like, there was this guy, and they never followed up with him. What they did here was there was a lead detective. The lead detective heard from this guy who showed up at the hospital that a celebrity was also in the vehicle a little bit before. And from then on, the lead detective stopped chasing leads and stopped investigating this. But all he did was lock in on YNW Melly. He made YNW Melly his target, and then he started to find evidence that fit his version of the events. Instead of trying to get to the bottom of the matter, he just put a target on somebody's back and went after him. The trial is expected to last for several weeks. We had a couple witnesses already go today. We saw video footage. It's all being broadcast on the Law and Crime Network. I'll have daily updates, hourly updates. Stay tuned.
All right. Now he gave us a lot, man. Like, shout out to Lawyers for Workers, man. Make sure y'all follow him on Instagram. He is always on it. Okay. First and foremost, we just saw YNW Melly get in the back of the car. Now, unfortunately for him, that does go with the story that he could have shot from the back seat, right? If we go back to that footage, I'll pause it. And make sure y'all can see it again. Now, they're trying to claim that after the shooting took place, Melly went and tried to stage a drive-by. But they saying that the evidence don't add up. You know, they was talking about where's the shell casing. So if it was a drive-by, it got to be proof that somebody drove by and was shooting at y'all. Where are the bullets at to prove that, okay, somebody drove by and shot? And that don't sound right to me either. I got to hear more details, but I'm assuming if you stage a drive-by, you got to shoot some shots, right? So I don't think Melly just would, quote-unquote, stage a drive-by and not let out no shots. Or maybe they saying that the shots weren't, you know, scientifically placed to show that a drive-by actually took place. I guess that's what they're trying to say. But also, to me, the last part of the defense, and like I said, that's Melly right here, you know, walking into the car. He getting in the back seat. So watch him get in the back real quick. And he got in the back, and like I said, that can be like, oh, okay, maybe he was the one who shot from the back. They said the bullet went in through the back and out of the front. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard for the defense to try to talk their way out of that. But like I said, at the end, it's interesting to me. When Lawyers for Workers said that the defense is trying to prove that whoever did the case initially basically heard that YNW Melly was a celebrity and he just, you know, tried to pin it on him. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people have had this opinion that when the police find out a celebrity is involved in a crime, they want to make sure that this can be some big public thing and they can be the one who took down that rapper. I took down YNW Melly, right? A lot of people feel like that's what's going on with Young Thug. Also, that statement, and like he was like Lawyers for Workers was saying, it's like, hey, I don't know if this was said, I don't know if it's true, but the defense said that when somebody else looked at the case, it was the worst case they ever seen. So that made me think maybe it's a slight chance Melly could get off on a mistrial. But we'll have to see. I'll be back with more updates. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. What do y'all think about Melly, being caught hopping in the back seat? I'll see y'all next time. Peace.